What's up guys, and welcome to another deck concept, testing out more of the new cards. I put them all in one deck. Gusto Speed Witch Fusion. So this is going to include synchros and fusion monsters. So it's pretty neat how Konami just makes a lot of wind support, and now we have a deck full of wind. Like, we can just special summon wind monsters during this turn and it's still be okay. So let's get right into it. For the speed part of things, we have the Speed Roids, we have Red-Eyed Dice, Duke, Terratop, Tectumborg, Bamboo Horse. Bamboo Horse is really good because you can banish it from the graveyard, then send any wind monster from your deck to the graveyard. For the gustier parts of our deck, we have the Gustos. We have Gusto Griffin, sent from your hand to the graveyard. You get to special summon any Gusto monster from your deck to your side of field, except for Griffin. Gusto Falco, level 2 tuner monster. Gusto Guldo, level 3 tuner monster. Pilica, Descent of Gusto, level 3. This card is the main card you want to summon because this card allows you to, when it's normal summon or special summon, you get to target one wind tuner monster from your graveyard and special summon to your side of field. However, if you use this effect for the rest of the turn, you can only summon wind monsters. Gusto Sprees, level 6. One tuner monster and one or more non-tuner Gusto monsters. Usually with Pilica or in a level 3 tuner monster is fine with her. As well as if this card synchro summon, you get to add one Gusto card from your graveyard back to your hand. Any battle damage you take with a Gusto monster, or involving a Gusto monster, your opponent takes instead. So you can basically kill people with Sprees. I've actually gotten killed by having a Shining Angel in attack mode, and my friend killed me with Sprees as an effect, basically. It was a sad day, I guess. As well as Sprees can't be destroyed by battle. Quillpen of Guldo. So this card can target two wind monsters in your graveyard and one monster, or one card on the field, and return the card on the field to the hand and shuffle back two of the wind monsters in your graveyard back to your deck. So this card is a really good recycler for wind monsters. Emergency Teleport. Our one or two of Pilica is a psychic monster, and we have one teleport, so we can use it. The Wind Witches used by Rin in the anime. We have Wind Witch Ice Spell, level 3, Wind. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand, just like Terratop. As well as if you do, you can special summon another Wind Witch monster from your deck. If you do activate this effect, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except for level 5 or higher wind monsters. As well as if this card is normal or special summon, you can inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent. So that's a pretty good effect, just like Terratop, except more restrictive with like the Tectumborg sort of effect. Or more so that you cannot special summon the extra deck, but you can still special summon from your hand and whatnot. Different attributes, so that's a pretty unique condition, I'd say. We got Winter Witch Snow Bell, level 1. If you control two or more wind monsters and only wind monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. If a synchro summoned wind synchro monster and use this card as synchro material, it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Wind Witch Winter Bell, level 7, requires a tuner monster and one or more non-tuner wind monsters. Once per turn, you can select one Wind Witch monster in your graveyard, inflict 200 points of damage for every level it has. So if you selected Ice Bell, it would inflict 600 points of damage because of level 3. As well as once per turn during either play's battle phase, you can target one Wind Witch monster you control, special summon one monster from your hand whose level is equal to or lower than the targeted monster. So if you target Wind Witch Winter Bell, then you can special summon a level 7 or lower monster from your hand. However, it cannot attack during that turn, but that's okay. Sometimes they have effects when they're normal. They're special summon just so that you need that extra summon, right? Wind Witch Crystal Bell, level 8, requires a Wind Witch Winter Bell and a Wind Witch monster. So basically, you can use Miracle Synchro Fusion with it because Wind Witch Winter Bell is a synchro monster. Once per turn, you can target one monster in either player's graveyard. This card's name and effects becomes that monster until the end phase. Also, if this card dies, it replaces itself with the Wind Witch Winter Bell synchro monster and a Wind Witch monster level 4 or lower back to your side of field. The new fusion archetype, we have the Eidolons. They remind me a lot of Shaddolls because they require specific attributes of monsters as well. So we have Alistair, the Eidolon Summoner, level 4, seems to be like the main searcher of the fusion spell card. When this card's normaled or flipped face up, you can add one Eidolon summoning magic from your deck to your hand. During either player's turn, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. Target one fusion monster you control, it gains 1000 attack points. Eidolon Summoning Magic, the fusion spell card that doesn't have fusion in its name, sadly. Fusion summon one fusion monster from your deck using monsters from your hand as fusion materials. So you can't use monsters on the field, so that's kind of sad. But if you do summon an Eidolon Beast fusion monster, you can use monsters from your side field or either play's graveyard by banishing them. If you can use any monster from hand, they're just sent to the graveyard. So that's really powerful because you can banish monsters from your opponent's graveyard as well. Imagine this card in a mirror match, right? You can just banish their stuff, right? To summon a fusion monster from your extra deck. So that's pretty neat. We got Raiden, the Eidolon Beast, level 5 Wind. You don't have to worry about the Wind Witch Ice Spell's condition because this is a level 5 Wind monster and it's coming from your extra deck, so you know that's pretty good. It requires an Alistair, the Eidolon Summoner, as well as a Wind monster. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can target one monster on the field, flip it face down. So basically a Book of Moon, walking Book of Moon sort of thing. Echelon, the Eidolon Beast, level 10 Fairy Fusion monster with a massive 4,000 defense and 3,200 attack points. This card requires an Eidolon Beast monster as well as a monster that was special summoned from the extra deck. So if this card's on the field, it is treated as every other attribute other than Divine, treated as Fire, Wind, Water, Earth, and Dark, and it's already light. So this card is basically everything in one card. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can banish one Eidolon Beast monster you control, or in your graveyard, banish all face-up monster your opponent controls that shares the same attribute as that monster. So basically, if you banish Echelon, the Eidolon Beast himself, you basically banish every single monster that you control, because this card is every attribute, right? Other than Divine, so you won't be banishing any Egyptian God cards, but still, very powerful. For additional support, we have Parasite Fusioner. This card was actually used in the anime, and now it's actually a card. So if this card is special summoned, you get this fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using this card as fusion material with other monsters. As well as you can't use this card as a fusion material unless you apply the following effect, which is this card can substitute as any fusion material on a fusion monster. So basically it's like a King of the Swamp, except you don't need a poly, because this card's a poly himself. King of the Swamp, for that matter, we're running it because it can be substituted as any fusion monster, as well as it can add a regular polymerization to our hand. Totem Bird, rank 3, 2 level 3 wind monsters, you know, Wind Witches and the Speed Roids can make this really easily. Even Gusto Pelica can make this card easily as well, so might as well run one of that. Because we have a Book of Moon, we have a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, and then Totem Bird just locks out spells and traps cards as well. We got 1-for-1 for the Parasite Fusioner, or the Red-Eyed Dice, or the Winter Witch. Sorry, not Winter Witch. It was Snowbell, right. We got Miracle Synchro Fusion for the Miracle Synchro Fusion plays with the Crystal Bell. We got Different Dimension Return because we are going to banish a lot with the Eidolon Fusion spell card. So this combo is actually kind of copy-pasted from the show, slightly I guess. You have Wind Witch Ice Spell, Special Summon because you control no monsters, then Special Summon another Wind Witch Ice Spell from your deck, then Special Summon Wind Witch Snowbell because you control 2 wind monsters now, then Sync 7, 3 material level 7, right, for a Wind Witch Winter Bell level 7, and then we, during the battle phase, special summon the Parasite Fusioner, then you Parasite Fusion into Crystal Bell, and then you got Crystal Bell right there. I forgot to mention the third effect of the Eidolon Summoning Magic. If you have an Alistair that was banished, you can shuffle this card from your graveyard back to your deck to add that Alistair back from your banished zone back to your hand, so that's really good recycle power right there. Miracle Fusion with the Eidolon Summoning Magic, they both banish monsters from your graveyard or your side field, so you will bring back monsters with the DDR, discarding a card from your hand. If you discard with the Gusto Griffin, you get more advantages because then you won't lose out on a card. But if you did really need a card, you can use that recycle power of the Summoning Magic, return that Alistair, then just discard it for the DDR. As well as King of the Swamp and the Parasite Fusioner can substitute as the Alistair himself with another wind monster, and that's an easy fusion right there. As well as it can substitute as a Crystal Bell for that fusion monster as well. A game-ending combo could be like this. We have the Crystal Bell being able to mimic any monster in our graveyard, mimic the powers of High Speed Roid Chambara. This card can attack twice, as well as it gains 200 attack at the start of the damage step. So basically it can boost your Crystal Bell from 28 to 3000 to 3200, but you can boost it even further with the Alistair, the Eidolon Summoner's hand effect, discard it to the graveyard, gains 1000 for a fusion monster. So this card will be at 4000 when it attacks, then 4200 during its second attack, so this card can OTK in itself with these guys. So this is what this deck looks like, a bunch of synchros with some fusion power in it as well. I'm really interested in the Eidolon Beast monsters. Can't wait for more attributes hopefully coming out for that fusion archetype. But yeah, I'm going to cut this short because this video is kind of long. So thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you guys later.